What's up, y'all,
again?
again? Welcome back to our channel. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel. Today we have an amazing content in store for you guys. We're gonna be talking about dating and albinism.
It's always been my dream to be able to share information about albinism with the world. And since we started this YouTube page, I decided to talk about albinism for the first time.
And to go more in depth about what it is, the myths, and how it has impacted our relationship as a whole.
Yeah.
So, what is albinism, babe? Like, try to, because sometimes people think we're in like a
You see, that point you almost mentioned, it's funny because every time I was shocked even when I came to the US, and I still see people that actually don't even know what albinism is.
Right.
And so the first day, there was a day I was on a bus.
Some people think you're like mixed or something.
And it's weird
because
because
think our baby's gonna turn out mixed.
No, none of that is possible. Yeah. I am a black person. I'm African and I'm Nigerian, and this is because I'm black and then I have white skin. It's very obvious because albinism exists in so many ways.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it exists in the white race. It's like the Caucasians, the Indians, everywhere. But since I am a black person and I'm totally like white now, it's very like obvious and physical. Like it's the phenotype, you can see it obviously, and there's a contrast, huge contrast between my race and what my color looks like. And so, what did you say?
What is albinism?
Okay, what is albinism? This definition I'll be giving won't be like a general, like the total. I'm just gonna try to break it down as easy as possible so that a lot of people can understand. So albinism is a genetic condition. It's not a disease. It's a condition. It's a genetic condition which means that it was inherited from my parents. It's like so I became a person with albinism because my parents carry the gene, even though they don't show the phenotype. They are not people with albinism, but they carry the gene. They both carry the gene that can lead to albinism. So what's the condition itself? So albinism is a mutation in the gene this is a gene that causes the production of melanin. You see how a lot of black people always say melanin popping? I always feel bad when I hear that because I am a black person but I lack melanin. So when a lot of people say, "Oh, melanin popping" and stuff like that,
you can't relate.
They associate melanin to blackness, but
right.
I am the exception.
Right.
I'm from the black race, and I don't like melanin. Yeah. So before I digress, albinism is the lack of pigmentation caused by the skin, hair, and eye inability to produce melanin. So that's just pretty much how it is.
So to basically dumb that down for people like us, because when he's saying it like that, I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what did you just say? So I just try to explain it to people like basically both his parents are black and he wasn't able to produce a lot of blackness and he came out white skinned.
Come on, that is too lame.
And that's basically okay. It. Both his parents are black. They weren't able to produce enough melanin for him to come out white skinned.
This is why I'm making this video.
So he's
my own girlfriend can't even explain what albinism is fully. He's very well there. I don't know. But I don't blame anybody that have some misconceptions about it.
A lot of people don't know what this phenotype is, genetic is, blah blah blah. If you're trying to explain it to people, try to explain in like layman language, so people can understand. This is what it is.
And I don't know if I mentioned one of the reasons why I am studying biology, which I'll be graduating in December, is because of albinism. I wanted to learn a lot about genetics because coming from where I'm from, Nigeria, country in Africa, the entire continent of Africa in general, there's a lot of crazy belief about that, but I won't get into that. Like we will talk about that in a minute. But it's crazy how that is the reason why I'm studying biology today. Because I wanted to.
People in Africa, people in African countries have a lot. Like we need to have a way to categorize certain things. Like if something is abnormal, we want to try to place it as this is what it is. So a lot of people in Africa have like many myths of how people with albinism came to be. And it's not. A lot of the myths are false. They're
Okay.
inaccurate. And
Which from now that you understand a little bit of what albinism is, this would lead us into the myths and misconceptions.
So
about
what are
albinism.
some of the myths that you've heard? Like,
What are the myths that I've heard? In Nigeria, you know, I feel like after I met a lot of Africans, every country has a specific myth of what they believe. But in Nigeria, what the most common ones were like, we don't eat salt. I don't know how humans survive. Even actually, my mom, when we were growing up, when we were little, my mom,
never cooked salt.
when we were very little, she didn't know better too. She was just told, and she was like literally depriving us of salt growing up. But then later on, she figured that that's just some superstition. So another one is, I don't know, what is another superstition?
Well, I've heard like.
Hold on, let me say my own for my country, and then you can tell me all the ones that you've heard. Okay. So another one that I've heard mostly from Nigeria is that we don't see at all during the day, and we see at night. First and foremost, the negative thing that comes with albinism, the only negative thing that I see is because it affects your eyesight. Like, I can't see, I don't have a long, like I have to bring things closer for me to be able to see it well. So that's the only thing. That doesn't give us some extra ability to pick a pin in the night with no light, or make us totally blind during the day. Yes, because we don't have melanin in our eyes to like prevent the sun rays, you can see us under the sun without sunglasses, switch our eyes together so that we can reduce the rays from the sun. So that's the second one. The third one would probably be that they would say that we are just mystical beings, like that we were just like we are supernatural beings. Well, I tend to like that one a little in the positive way because I like to be, you know,
no, but
unique
it's
and
not
special.
in a positive
But that's
way
the
because
problem.
then they use that as a reason to like, you know, kill you guys, and you guys use you guys for money ritual, like, you know, voodoo ritual, witch stuff, wizard stuff, and all of that. So even though it sounds positive, but it's not, because people hunt you guys for these reasons. You know.
And then, I think that's about the points that most of the popular ones that I've had in Nigeria. I've never heard, I didn't hear this before, but I remember people saying that sometimes they accuse the mother of like being with a Caucasian man or being with a Caucasian woman if he was a man. So those are just the general stereotypes and superstitions and the false myth about albinism.
I've only been dating you for like 4 years, and some of the superstitions I've heard are like, you know, a bit crazy. I've heard people say that, oh, your mom was taking a shower in the nighttime when she was pregnant with you guys. And so there's so Simeon and Yaya and two of his other sisters are all albinos, people with albinism. And I've heard that, oh, his mom was pregnant with them and took a shower outside, and like some type of witch thing entered into her, like a demonic husband entering her, and that's why they came out white. I've heard, you know, that their eyes are red, like the actual color red. It's not red. I've heard that, oh, if they eat pineapples, they're gonna get like freckles and stuff. That's not true. I've heard that, oh, they have like a fresh smell to them. That's not true. I've heard like their skin texture is a little bit more harder. I don't think that's true, but like when we started dating, because of all these things I was hearing when I just started dating him, like I needed to kind of understand that he was like different. I guess my mind was trying to think that he was different. So I kind of like, when I touched him, I was like, why is your skin so hard? Why is your skin so hard? And I touched his ears, and I'm like, oh, your skin is hard. But it's not. Like, it was just my mind just doing tricks on me because I needed to understand that he was different from me, but he's not different from me. You know, it's just the fact that his skin color is different from mine, you know? But those are all things that I was like, oh, you like, you know, you feel a little bit more, you know, harder than usual people. So that was like really funny.
Oh my god.
But you know what? I want to hear what are some of the myths that you guys have heard. Leave it in the comments below. And like, if you have any questions regarding this, we'll explain more of it. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you've heard. We want to have a good laugh as well too. Like,
and just to clarify again, everything was mentioned are all false.
All false.
This is coming from a person with albinism. I'm
Right.
a person that, even though I don't have a master's or PhD in genetics,
Right.
I know the basics of what
Right.
albinism is.
Yeah.
It's a genetic condition, nothing more, nothing less.
Right. And then like the only difference is they have explain a little bit more about next diagnosis and what that is.
Yeah, like I said earlier about the eyesight. Oh, it comes with, the only negative that comes with it is sometimes when I try to like focus, like for example looking at this camera right now, if I'm trying to focus like on the name, we have the Canon M50, so if I'm trying to read the name on the camera screen right now and I focus so much, I tend to like there's something called nystagmus where my eyes shakes a lot, uncontrollably. I don't even know I'm doing that. So
in his head.
And yeah, and I understand. I've been close to many friends and family and friends that I met that probably want to ask me, but they're just too scared, or they think I'll get offensive, or they think it's rude.
It's
But
not rude
it's
if
not
you
rude.
have a question. It's just
With
the
the proper tone, yep.
Right. It's just the way you ask the question. Because, you know, people, like a lot of, like, you know, people who've been around, like, they obviously know he's different, but they don't want to approach him or approach me to ask him the question because they just...
Now we are making a video to clarify that. So please watch this video and all your questions you've ever had will be answered.
Yeah, and if you guys have more questions,
and
put it in the comments below. So what has it been like dating a person with albinism? Not bad. It hasn't been bad. It's just people's view on our relationship. That this hasn't been bad either. It's just people are not used to seeing a person with albinism. I'm not used to it. Well, now I'm used to it, but like he's my first encounter with somebody who has albinism. So like prior to him, I'd never interacted with one. So, you know, but when I told like, you know, people like my friends, they didn't have anything negative to say. They were just more like, you know, a little reserved about it until they got to know him and knew that he was an amazing person. And then like, you know, from my like family or something, like it hasn't been negative, but it's just been more like are you sure?
I mean, it's understandable. Like one thing I always say is that before, like I always put myself in people's shoes sometimes. Right. But aside me, if I was in your shoe, I wouldn't be totally ignorant. I'm a curious person. If I wasn't a person with albinism and I meet somebody with albinism, I would want to know, and I will find the best and possible way to ask or learn about these things. But the thing is, most people come at you good, and
yeah,
they just don't know.
Like a couple weeks ago, went to this one party, and then this guy just came out of nowhere and was just like, "Oh, hey, white boy," and I just felt some type of way. I just like his tune was just so rude, and I felt as though he was saying that to degrade him in front of like his little friends and stuff. And I'm like, "Excuse you, do not call him that. He's not a white boy." And like after this one other guy had told him, "Oh, that's his girlfriend." So later on, the guy came to me and apologized, and I felt like, you know, really cool about it, that he was able to understand from that light, and he came and apologized and things were cool. But I just feel like it's the tune when people come up to you and say certain things because they want to make fun or be cool. That's not acceptable, and I'm not gonna accept that.
Well, I'm a person with albinism, and that is not gonna change, and that actually don't make me all that different. I mean, I'm a unique person because 1 in 30,000 people are born with albinism. Come on, 1 in 30,000 bets.
And then one thing too, simply because I'm with a person with albinism does not mean I'm gonna have children with albinism. There's
a science behind that.
Like
the only way we might have a child with albinism is if she carries a gene. So just like both my parents carry, both my parents don't show albinism, but here, guess what? They both carry a gene that when they come together, when they donate, because for every child, father and mother donate various like chromosomes and there are genes inside. So they donated those two ones that were bad and not bad. I won't say it's bad, but those genes that causes albinism, they both donated it, and that is our results. So the only way she and I would have albinism if she has that minor gene, but it's highly unlikely. So, and even at that, even if she carries it, there's still not 100% chance for us to have kids with albinism. So yeah, point 1, we're not having kids that are mixed. Point 2, most likely we're not gonna have kids that have albinism. And point 3, albinism exists in everything. Like almost every living thing has some sort of albinism.
Right.
Because I've seen, if you've seen, there are like tigers, monkeys, lions, mouse, name it. Every race on this earth have albinism.
Yeah.
Because it's just a gene condition.
And it's God's creation. At the end of the day, like, you know, people come to me and they tell me, oh, why would you want to be with, you know, somebody like him? And at the end of the day, I feel like I don't understand that statement, because at the end of the day, God created him in his perfection. God created me in my perfection.
But here's the thing that I always ask though, when people say, oh, why would you want to, what is,
like, he's not less of a man. Like,
I just have white skin.
He's
and
not
that's
less
it.
of a man.
And
like,
I can see as good as you can see, and that's it. But everything else you can do, I can probably do better. So
period.
So alright then.
We hope this video was like very informative and educative. I know this wasn't much fun, but we just really wanted to share that out.
Important.
It's very important because a lot of people don't have common understanding of that. So thank you guys so much for watching our channel today. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing our video. Make sure to thumb up this video and subscribe. Bye guys.
Bye.